Please welcome to the stage, Mike Perrion.
Good morning. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. The NBA Bit. We're here. We're live. We got a fun one for you, an efficient one for you today. I feel like we are going to tactically, strategically hit a couple of games, and we're going to bounce on out of here. There's not too much. We're at that part of the season, right, where we're very lucky to have 2 or 3 good games that matter, and we had that last night. So we'll talk about a couple of those. We'll get ready for tonight, and then we'll get up and at them. You know, we'll attack the day. For businessy things, just a reminder: the NBA Bit Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. You already made it today. We'll see you again tomorrow. We've got Andrew Laird popping on the Elite Fantasy channel to talk baseball. We're going to be talking baseball tomorrow as opening day is right around the corner. We're going to get you ready for SORARE MLB. I got to talk to the 89 Cavs guys to make sure we can get on the schedule today, but for this week, but hopefully for Thursday. And then Friday, of course, the return of Live Before Lock. But more importantly, who do we got in the chitty chat this morning? Common Man letting us know TJ McConnell and Kyle Lowry. Happy birthday to you both. Snoopaloop, happy International Waffle Day. That's a fun one. Sneeps has got some Butler energy here. A lot of Butler chatter in the chat this morning. People are hyped for his return to Miami. DJP in the chat, Mr. Stubbs in here as well. Good to see everybody. We'll also recap last night's Splash Sports as your boy had a podium. Yeah, we cashed last night. We got a little third place finish. We couldn't really put all of the pieces together last night for the big dub, but we 2x last night on Splash Sports. You turned 15 into 30. That's a good night. We are running the Splash Sports contest again tonight. You can see we got it pinned in the chat there up top, so feel free to jump in. Honestly, I know I've talked about it with Stubbs. I've talked about it with a couple of you guys privately. Really been enjoying that over there. The numbers have been going up. I think we had like 60 some odd entrants last night or 50, something like that. So that's been fun. That's been fun. Also, man, Juju Watkins, torn ACL, huh? Get better soon. That sucks. That's obviously out for the rest of this tournament. I imagine that really changes the plans for next year as well. Those usually take 9 to 15 months to recover. So that was a terrible blow last night. So get well soon. But all right, I think that's it. I think that's the business we had to do at the top. Let's get through. Let's get through. I'm sorry. I'm not making it sound like we don't want to be here. We don't need to get through. Let's get into, I didn't change this. Last night's slate here. We had some fun ones. Anthony Davis made his return. If you were watching Live Before Lock, shout out to all the real ones. We know we had AD back in action. Didn't play too many minutes. Mavs are also, they have 3 games like this Monday through Thursday, right? So they play tonight. I imagine he's not playing tonight, and then he'll play again on Thursday. But last night they played the Brooklyn Nets. What a gift, huh? To play Brooklyn your first game back, right? Regulator said, who is Juju? You don't, is that for real? You don't know who Juju is? Juju's like the best college basketball hooper right now. Breaking some Caitlin Clark records. Just like awesome. Juju Watkins, yeah. NCAA women's basketball, University of Southern California. Let's go. Yeah, that's true, Maddie Harrison. says, let's get through this. It was about 40% of the fan bases. Shout out the Brooklyn Nets. All right, AD returned, played 27 minutes. In those 27 minutes, he had 12 points, 6 boards, 3 dimes, a steal, a block, a partridge, and a pear tree. Our guy, PJ Washington here, he dropped 16 and 5 in this win. Kai Jones, 1 board shy of a double-double at 13 and 9. Din Shitty was cooking. 16 points, 12 dimes, 4 steals, only 1 turnover in this game. And then off the bench, Najee Marshall, who I was a little scared of. I thought with AD returning, this would be the guy that got beat up the most minutes-wise. Still played 27 off the bench, had 22, 4, and 2. And then Maxi Christie with 10. Brandon Williams, who's actually carved out himself. Nice little role. DJP said, thought Hardy was going to smash with the Luka trade returning from injury. Nah, man. Hardy is kind of proven not to be that guy. I think with the emergence of Brandon Williams, I think the addition of Max Christie and Dinwiddie playing well kind of limited the upside of Jaden Hardy. And Hardy kind of comes in and is a bucket, right? So, like, if he's not going to be knocking down shots, he's really kind of a heat check guy. So you give him a little bit of run. If he's got it, you let him go. But it's not like the same as last year where because Dinwiddie arrived halfway through the season, right? So when we were without Luka or without somebody, we'd be like, oh, Hardy party time. We're not seeing that anymore. He's kind of fallen out of favor with Jason Kidd. He doesn't really defend. So when they look around, they're like, well, we could just have like Najee run point forward stuff off the bench. We've got Jaden Hardy. We can limit some Dinwiddie, like have Dinwiddie play with the second unit a little bit. So I think that's what we're seeing. So no Hardy party. I will say, man, the return of Anthony Davis, Dallas Mavericks have tipped their hat and have said, hey, we're going to try for the play-in. We're not messing around because I don't think this is just like, oh, let's get AD ready before the offseason. They're for real trying to win this play-in. And all of a sudden, this like 9, 10, 11 seed, whoo, it's getting spicy, huh? So Dallas gets their big win here, a big win against Brooklyn tonight. I forget who they play. It's kind of a gross game tonight too, if I recall. No, it's the Knicks. They play the Knicks tonight, and then if we look at Thursday, I want to say Thursday was kind of an important one. Oh no, Orlando. So that's like 3 tough games this week. Like New York's not going to be a slouch. Neither is Orlando, who we'll talk about here in a little bit. But anyways, good win for Dallas to try to get themselves back into play-in contention here. Let's go right to the next one since all of these games are going to tie in nicely together. The Phoenix Suns, who are battling with this team, they go into Milwaukee. Man, Phoenix, like, listen, we've been talking about them for about a month now about how they have the toughest schedule the rest of the way. The toughest out of the entire NBA, they have the toughest schedule. Now, they're going out there, and they're winning games. They beat Cleveland this past week. Now they take on Milwaukee, and Milwaukee's offense, man, we saw this last week against, I forget who it was in the last couple of minutes of the game. Was it Phoenix? Did Phoenix beat Milwaukee twice in the last couple of weeks? Anyway, their offense just dies in the fourth quarter. Now, part of that is because Damian Lillard's out. The other part is that this is what Doc Rivers offenses do. They just are not creative. We're at a point now, man, we got to start having an honest conversation about like Doc's coaching performance. Like, should he still be doing this? I'm not saying he doesn't have like a good handle on temperament and personalities in the locker room, although we did have Dame leak to Chris Haynes immediately right after that meeting, right? But this offensive stuff is like a real slog. And I think, you hope that Kyle Kuzma was going to come in and give you a little bit of creativity on the ball and be able to knock down shots. And Kuzma's not doing shit, man. 34 minutes. He had 15 and 4 last night. Giannis with 31, 10 and 5. Brooke Lopez was 23 and 10. At the end of the game, they're down 2 out of timeout. Like on the sideline. What's the ATH? Why am I blanking on what that? Anyways, an out of timeout play. The OTP, sure. And there's just like no movement. There's no creativity. They end up getting the ball to Brooke Lopez, like on the baseline, who takes a tough turnaround fadeaway shot, which, listen, we've seen Brooke hit before. That can't be your go-to play, though. Misses it, and Phoenix gets the win. On Phoenix side, man, Kevin Durant has been insane the last couple of games, man. This is huge, right? So KD, 38 points in this game. He goes 7 for 9 from 3, 9 for 10 from the field. honestly would have had a bigger night if he could hit anything from the 2, right? So 7 of his 11 which that means he went 4 for 12, I think, from 2. Anyways, finishes with 38 points, 8 boards, 5 dimes. He also had 3 blocks on top of that. Devin Booker, who again has turned more into a point guard now, he had 19 and 12. Our guy, Colin Gillespie, into the starting lineup. He had 6, 5, and 3 for him. Big Dick Nick Rich had 10 and 4 as the starting center. And then off the bench, nothing really. Tyus Jones gave him 8. You got 5 from Cody Martin. But this is a pretty big win for Phoenix now, who's starting to turn it on. And we saw them inch past Dallas in due to tiebreaker situations here. So they are currently, I believe, the 10 seed. And again, listen, man, shout out to Phoenix. Let's look at the standings here for a second, and then we will do the Kings since they are the 3rd team. I just want to look at, so Phoenix now in their last 10, they've won 4 in a row. They're 6 and 4 in their last 10. Let's look at some of these W's, right? So they've beaten the Bucks, the Cavs, the Bulls, which, you'd be like, oh, of course, that's an easy win. I don't know, man. Freaking Bulls are on fire right now. They beat the Raptors. They've got a Kings victory in there. Mavericks, they got the Clippers in there. So upcoming schedule here. This is what, and again, still the toughest schedule in the league. This is what we've got coming up. This is what we've got left here. God, it's all right. Here we go. So they got the Celtics on Wednesday, which I would say not ideal, but honestly, kind of think we might not see Tatum, which we'll talk about in a second. Friday, the Timberwolves. Sunday, the Rockets. Then the Bucks again, the Celtics again, the Knicks again, Golden State, OKC, and then San Antonio and Sacramento. Look at that schedule. 2 against the Celtics, Knicks, Timberwolves, Rockets, Bucks, Golden State. Whoo, brutal stuff for Phoenix. I kind of think, though, I don't know, man. I kind of think if they can steal a couple of these wins again, we know that the Celtics are probably going to be resting some guys. The Celtics will be on the road. Not that Phoenix has home court advantage or anything, but anyways, Phoenix turning it on a little late. I wonder too, man. Bradley Beal, bro, what's up? Since he's gone out of the lineup, they seem to be playing a little bit better. DJP saying that's a criminal schedule. Yeah, it is, but I mean, that just goes to show you how easy their schedule was earlier in the season, and they've just been terrible, Let's go to the Kings Celtics. I mentioned the Tatum injury. So Sabonis, I'm sure a lot of you have seen it at this point. Sabonis closed out on a 3-pointer and clearly landed in his landing zone. Tatum rolled his ankle. It looked way worse than it ended up being. I mean, we still don't have the official word on but he hit the ground, was rolling around, writhing in pain. It was so bad that Sabonis after the game came out and said, my bad, I shouldn't have done that. That's terrible. But it looked really bad. Luckily, according to Celtics reporting and beat reporters, Tatum was in the locker room joking around and eating, didn't leave the game in crutches or in a boot or anything like that. However, and we talked about this yesterday a little bit, with the Celtics kind of comfortably in the 2 seed, I don't think they have a realistic shot at getting the 1 seed. And Jaylen Brown, who returned last night, has missed a ton of games leading up to this. You could see Tatum just probably take the rest of the week off, right? There's no reason to just kind of go way over the top. Regulator, yeah, a Zaza moment for sure. And Common Man, shut the fuck up. Tatum, though, in 26 minutes was on an insane pace. 5 for 9 from 3. Finished the game with 25 points, 8 dimes, 7 boards. The Zanger, he returned. He had 16 and 8. JB in his first game back only played 26 minutes, had 9 points. You got Derek White in there with 12, 8, and 5. Off the bench, you had Peyton Pritchard, fast PP, knocked down 5 triples. He had 22 and 5. And Luke Cornett, shout out our guy Steve, had 13 and 8. Oh, we got Coach Stark Holmes in the house. I see what happens, Coach Stark. Phoenix goes on a little bit of a win streak, and you're like, I'm back, baby. I'm back. But anyway, Celtics, again, nice win. Sacramento drops a tough one here. Sacramento now 1 game under 500. Let's go look at this play-in here again, shall we? So you've got right now, this is your clear 6, 7, 8. I mean, I guess the Warriors could catch the Lakers or the Grizz. But the Warriors here at 41 and 30. You have the Clippers at 40 and 31. And then you have the Timberwolves at 41 and 32. And then you drop down to this 9-10 seed. The Kings have a half-game lead over Phoenix because Phoenix has played 1 more game and has had 1 more loss. The Mavericks and the Suns have the same exact record. The Suns have the tiebreaker. So Dallas is going to have to finish with a better record than than the Phoenix Suns for them to catch back up. But again, we went over that Phoenix schedule, and it is absolutely brutal. Regulator said Tatum should get to those 65 games, right? At this point, I believe he has played, let's see right now, Yeshant that Dame. He's already played 66 games this year. Which again, dude, that just goes to show you that dude is like a force. We're looking at everybody else like, oh, they got to play like 40% of the rest of their games to qualify. He's already played 66 games this season. He's a dog. How many games have they played? They've played, that's 72 games. He's missed 6 games this season. They play Wednesday on against the Suns, as we pointed out. I would imagine he sits that game and then maybe comes back for the next one, but there's no need to rush it back. He's injured that ankle before, too, so they probably want to be careful. But anyways, there you go. So you got Suns, Kings, and Mavericks battling it out. I went over the Mavericks upcoming. Let's look at the Mavericks full schedule, actually. I did their next couple of games, right, is the Knicks, and then you've got the Knicks and then the Magic, and then you follow that up with Bulls, Brooklyn, Atlanta, then back-to-backs in the Clippers, against the Clippers, then the Lakers, and then they close with Toronto and Memphis. So that is the Dallas schedule. We went over the Phoenix schedule. Let's look at the Sacktown Like the Beam Bros. I also remember Like the Beam. I feel like nobody's talking about that anymore. Those vibes have died. Man, am I like too zoomed in? Why won't it let me click? All right, here we go. Here's the Kings' upcoming schedule. I see Thunder next on the docket. That's tonight, actually. So back-to-back against OKC. That's tough. So they've got the Thunder at home, then the Blazers at home, who Blazers are still kind of in it. And then you've got on the road, a big road trip. Holy shit. You got Orlando, Pacers, Wizards, Hornets, which is nice. Then Cleveland, Detroit, all on the road. Follow that up with Denver, LA, and Phoenix. That Sacramento-Phoenix game could be very spicy there at the end. If we go back to the standings, though, then I just want to point out the Blazers who are in the Spurs, who are still 3 games back. I think they're just out of range there. I don't think they're actually going to catch up. Also, am I a little choppy for you guys, or is that just on my end? My audio sounds good, but I feel like my visual is a little choppy. But anyway, I think it's just because I'm zoomed in too much on ESPN. But anyways, good news for the Celtics. Tatum seems okay. Good news for the play-in, just because this feels fun now. I feel like we have a fun sweat here down the stretch. Again, I don't think any of these teams are actual threats here to make any sort of run, but it's fun. At least it's fun. Especially when we look at the Eastern Conference and how weird shit is over there for the play-in, where it's just like bad vibes. It is a bit choppy on the share screen. All right, let's just go full screen. Let's stop sharing. I wonder what's going on there. Oh, Mathology in here. Let's go. I get the full name, Michael. I feel like I'm in trouble. Let's do Lakers and Magic last night. Listen, I know we were talking, like, we were all circle jerking the Lakers defense for a little bit. We're like, can you believe, dude? Like, LeBron is 40 years old, and we thought he was dead, and then all of a sudden he's defending his ass off. Last night they gave up 118 points to the Orlando Magic, who famously don't score a lot of points. LeBron back, played his full allotment of minutes, 38. He had 24, 7, and 6 in this one. Luka Magic, 32, 7, and 7, and that wasn't enough. I will do the Luka drop, though. I haven't done a drop yet. Luka Magic. But it wasn't enough. I'm going to try sharing screen again. Let's see if this is better. I don't want to be full screen here. There. Oh, wait, we got to do this. Bang. Okay. So on the Orlando, Lakers sure could use a center. I saw the winners because people have to share lineups with me share screen because I can't actually access any of the underdog stuff. Come on, Jeremy, pay the bill, bro. But yeah, KD was insane last night, and I saw most of the winning lineups I think were drafted the night before. Yeah, the Jackson Hayes thing was fun while it lasted, right? 18 minutes, 4 points, 4 boards. They did get Rui back last night. That's a good sign for the Lakers. But Orlando, man, starting to string together some dubs. I think they're 6-4 in their last 10. Franzi Wagner, back-to-back, like, pretty big performances here last night. Got off to a really slow start. I think he had, like, 6 points in the first quarter. Finished the game with 32, 9, and 5. Paolo had 30 and 7, and that's really all they needed. Anthony Black gave them 17, 6, and 5 off the bench. They need some sort of guard play with no Suggs. They're relying a lot on like Corey Joseph right now, who's in the playing starting minutes, but he's just starter in name only. He played 17 while Anthony Black played 30. If we go look at the play-in over there on the East, Orlando is just kind of falling quickly. They have, especially with the Bulls. Dude, we're going to talk about Chicago here in a second. 8-2 in their last 10. Holy shit. But here, look at this play-in. They were starting to win games. The Hawks are 7-3 in their last 10. Magic are 5-5. Bulls are 8-2. And then you got Miami Heat 1-9 in their last 10. Well, they're so gross, dude. They're so gross. Regulators said Lakers not even playing Dalton. I'll be honest, man. Dalton minutes have looked bad. They have. Like, I haven't seen a lot of, like, he's just moving. It seems slower than everybody else. I don't mean like physically slow, almost like mentally, like he's just not rotating in a way that shows that he belongs out there. I don't know. Maybe just young guy shit. But anyways, good win for Orlando. Tough loss for the Lakers. Let's go over to that Chicago game. They played the Denver Nuggets with no Nikola Jokic. It does sound like Jokic is going to be back on Wednesday, which they need him back. Bulls here dropped 129. Kobe White, I think for like 3 or 4 consecutive games, has scored over 35 points. Last night he had 37. 5 for 10 from 3. Also had 4 dimes, couple steals and a block, few rebounds. Giddy up, 26, 9, and 7. Vooch sucked, 13 and 8, but that's okay. They didn't need it. But the guards just decimated Denver last night. Again, on the road, Chicago put up 129. Jamal had 28, 7, and 5 in the absence of Joker. Peyton Watson, not used to the offensive performance from him. Also had 4 blocks, but he had 24 and 6. Denver just, again, so desperate for the return of Nikola Jokic. And Malone did kind of suggest he's going to be back on Wednesday. So hopefully that's fine because they need him. I love the Chicago team right now, man. Giddy's been fun. They're just a high flying team. Vooch is like the 4th option now. It's kind of nuts. Also another big game last night here. We had Pacers and the Timberwolves. And Pacers just ran away with this one, man. 25-23 at the end of the first. It was only a 6-point game at halftime, and then they came out and held Timberwolves to 25 points in the third quarter while dropping 41 and just kind of ran away with it after that 16-point gap explosion. Anthony Edwards held to 1 for 11 from 3. Yikes. He had 17 points. Rudy, almost their high scorer, was 16 and 16. Naz Reid gave him 20 off the bench. But for the Pacers, man, Hallie at home, write it down. Only took 16 field goal attempts. Finished the game with 24 and 11. Spicy P was out there with 14 and 6. Neesmith was 17, 7, and 5. Turner had 4 blocks in this game. Obi Toppin has been stringing together some pretty good performances. Pretty good stuff. Pretty good stuff there from the Pacers, who now, like, listen, with that Bucks loss, they've now created a little bit of a gap there between themselves and Milwaukee for that 4-5 seed. But more importantly, with that Milwaukee loss and Detroit coming on strong, even though they had a tough loss last week, Milwaukee might find themselves traveling to the Big Apple for the Bing Bong Boys for that 3-6 matchup. But anyways, good win for Indiana, who quietly, again, if you take away like that first month of the season, the Pacers have straight up been like as good as everybody else in the league outside of OKC, Boston, and Cleveland. And nobody wants to take them seriously. And I get it. You're like, Hallie's had a weird year. You saw a trend in Watford, which we got to have a limit on who can talk shit. Or like there should almost like, you know how we have relegation in football or soccer, excuse me. You know how there should be relegation and trash talking too. Like Watford shouldn't be able to talk shit to Halliburton until he talks shit to Nembhard. You know what I mean? And then if he does successfully do it to Nembhard then drops down a level. You shouldn't be Watford, who's only playing on the tanking net, shouldn't be able to have clear shots at Halliburton, who basically was like, "Hey, Hallie, you've had an off season this year." Yeah, we need relegation and trash talking. You know, like Georges Niang is going after guys like Quentin Grimes. That makes sense. That makes sense to me. If Georges Niang was going after Kevin Durant, that's too far. There's levels. But anyways, Pacers legit, man. I think they're winning a playoff series. Maybe, well, just one. Anything else last? I'm not going to talk about the Pelicans and Sixers, and I'm not going to talk about the Raptors and Wizards. Both of those teams decided, hey, let's not play our guys. Respect to them, but that's what they did. So I'm going to respect them by not talking about them. I will just say Raptors won their game, even though their starters didn't play the fourth quarter, 112-104. Jordan Poole didn't play the fourth quarter. I forgot the head coach's name was Brian O'Keefe for the Wizards. That's something I learned. Pelicans won 112-99. Quentin Grimes didn't play. That's all you need to know. So let's go back to the standings here just to clean up here in the East because I mentioned the Pacers. Pacers now 2.5 games back behind the Knicks, who, again, I don't think they can catch the Knicks. But, again, Pacers, 7-3 in their last 10. Winners of 5 in a row. Let me actually Google something quickly. What is the Indiana Pacers record since December 20th, 2024? Let's see. Okay, I thought like StatMuse would just tell me. I thought they would just tell me. It's not going to. I can't look it up as efficiently as I wanted to. But anyways, Pacers have been good. That's the take. Yeah, I agree with this methodology. A morning, yes. Yeah. You could be like, oh, yeah, I would like to challenge so-and-so in a trash talking competition, something like that. This is tank week for the Hornets as regulators. Say they play the Jazz and the Pelicans. Yeah, shit's going to get ugly. LaMelo's probably going to play like 9 minutes a game. I hate this. I hate it so much. But anyways, Pacers here. They have a 2-game gap on the Bucks now. Who the Bucks 4-6 in their last 10. Desperate for Dame to get back. Desperate for a new coach. And I mentioned the Pistons. They are 1 loss back in the loss column. Let's see who Detroit has upcoming in the schedule. They have the Spurs tonight. Wow, can't wait for that one. Spurs tonight. Then they follow it up with the Cavs. Oh, tough road trip of Minnesota, OKC, but then Toronto. Then at home for almost the rest of the games with Memphis, Sacramento, New York. But look at these last 2 games. This is probably the battle for the 5 seed right here. They've got Milwaukee, a home and away with Milwaukee to end the season, which is pretty fun. Let's go back over here to the standings. We already talked about the play-in. Let's just look at the West up here. So with Denver now 4-6 in their last 10, they now drop a game and a half behind the Houston Rockets. They are 2 games back in the loss column. They are a full game ahead of the Lakers, but tied in the loss column with 2 wins ahead of them. Then you've got the Grizzlies here, same record as the Lakers. Now the Warriors, who play tonight in one of the only entertaining games, they are now 2 losses ahead behind the Grizzlies. But the Grizzlies have been bad, man. The Grizzlies have been bad, and then we already talked about Clippers and who are they? Clippers and Timberwolves. Timberwolves who lost last night. Let's do this here. Let's go check out tonight's game. I saw Mathology's question about Cade. Let's try to get a feel for tonight's action. Again, most of these games are gross. We do have the return of Jimmy Butler to Miami. I know Steph Curry's questionable. I did see something that like Steve Kerr was like, it's important for Steph. He wants to play tonight. So I kind of think we might get Steph, but let's look at the spread, see what we can decipher. Once this ad moves, because I don't want the ad. Stop it. Oh, I hate this. There we go. All right. So Magic on a back-to-back against the Hornets. They're 4.5-point favorites. Like regulators said, Charlotte's trying to lose these games, but they could probably try tonight and lose, which is nice. Pistons 10.5-point favorites against the Spurs with the 235.5 total. To me, that says Cade's playing. I don't think they'd be 10.5-point favorites without Cade, right? Let me look at. Yeah, they got Cade questionable, iffy for Tuesday. No, I think Cade's playing. I think he's playing. We also have AD's questionable. I would say he's not playing. Steph, though, man. Steph, ADP of 30, brother. I would be smashing Steph in the 6th round tonight if I was allowed to gamble in New York. All right, Golden State Warriors, we just mentioned them, 4.5-point favorites. Okay, this spread does indicate that Steph's not playing. I think if Steph was healthy, and the way Miami's been playing, as I mentioned, 1-9 in their last 10. This would be closer to Golden State, like 7.5. I know they're on the road, but Vegas could be just mitting this a little bit because without Steph, maybe you think it's like 3.5. But it opened at 4.5, moved to 5.5. I don't know. I think Steph's going to play. Bing Bong Boys are favored by 10.5. AD for sure not playing. It opened at 7.5, jumped 3 points. No Brunson still. Hopefully he's back before the playoffs. Then we've got A-Town down, the Houston Rockets and Atlanta Hawks. Rockets 8.5-point favorites. Do we have anybody questionable in this game? No, Trae Young is probable. Rockets, they have everybody good to go. We've got Memphis Grizzlies and the Utah Jazz. Still no Ja, right? We have Ja's ruled out. Brandon Clark out for the year. The Grizzlies have Marvin Bagley now. Cool, bro. Cool story. The Jazz, good luck, man. Good luck figuring out the Jazz. They're without John Collins. Lowry Markkanen's already been ruled out. Jordan Clarkson has a Q tag. Then you got Cavs and Blazers, which is like sneaky kind of fun since the Blazers are still trying. Cavs are without Amani Bates. Cool. And then the Blazers here, we already mentioned Time Lord out for the season. He underwent surgery. Grant's doubtful. Ayton, we know, is out. Delano Banton's queued up. Denny Avdia is playing some of the best basketball of all time. And then the last game of the night here, OKC and Sacramento. OKC's favored by 9.5. Reminder, Sacramento's on a back-to-back. I'm curious if Sabonis is a full go. J-Dub and Chet are both queued up. I feel like one of them's playing. I don't know if both of them. J-Dub's missed a handful of games. We'll have to see. And then the Kings here, last but not least, they've got Malik Monk with the Q tag, and that's it. That's it. So that's tonight's stuff. I do think Cade's playing, though, to go back to that. Let's do let me remind you here, we got a little splashy sports. Let's recap last night's action. So I mentioned I finished third place in last night's Splash Sports. We had tied for third with M. Whopper. Do we have any other? This guy ran the same lineup about 3 times. Respect to Squiggy. Do we have any other team holders that made the top 10? I don't know. King Trey, maybe. This is my squad here. Little Luka Magic. We had Luka drop 53. Jamal Murray 47. DDR. I actually wasn't playing DeRozan. I think I had Aaron Gordon in there initially and then had to move it to DeRozan because Aaron Gordon got ruled out. And then when Kelly O, who dropped 44, you got Butler got to 30 and Alvarado. I actually liked my other lineup better. I had another one. I think like this one had Giannis, Jamal, Kelly O, but no, where was the that other one came in third. Who this was? Oh no, wait, hold on. Oh, it keeps going back to the top. I think was it this one? Save me, Giannis. This was I thought this was gonna get there. Justin Edwards at 31. I guess Edwards and Butler ended up with the same. That was part of the reason. But anyways, that was last night's contest. We got another one tonight. We got 12 entrants so far. I'll share the link into the chat. I believe it's pinned already, but if you want to join, it's nice now that we can actually like look at shit here at the same time. Let's go make the picks because normally we couldn't do it. So let's take this is probably not going to be what I end up doing, but so then look at the tier 1 here. Cat, Cade, Paolo, SGA. It's kind of crazy that I want to know what projections they're using that they have SGA projecting the fourth best. I don't know. Cade is kind of fun. I'm just playing SGA, bro. We're not getting weird like that. Tier 2, you got Trae Young in tier 2. What's going on? I do think the Grizzlies are in a good spot here against Utah, but they could run away with it. Oh, Donovan Mitchell's out. Did I miss that? That Mitchell's out? How did I miss that? Oh, no Mitchell tonight. I'm sorry. This actually makes tier 2 pretty interesting. I think I would rank. I think it's hard to play anybody but Trae. I know people were asking about Jimmy Butler. Kind of wish he was tier 3, but he could have the game. I mean, it could be Jimmy. I'm doing 3 lineups tonight. Jimmy will absolutely be one of them. Also, PJ without AD. Let's just click Trae. We'll be chalky for now. J-Dub, we mentioned he game time decision. We already know he's out. Amin Thompson's this is Amin or Denny for me. Maybe Vassell, maybe Jalen Green. Let's just go Amin. Then for tier 4, we got Duren. Duren, by the way, had an awesome game without Cade the other night when he was a late scratch. DeRozan, tier 4. I mean, if Chet's good to go, that's the play. Yeah, we're going to just click Chet. Wow, the disrespect for DeRozan. Then we got Anthony Simons, Keontae. I like Keontae a little bit more if Clarkson misses. I know Tari Eason is kind of fun too, but because we have Amin, we'll do that. And then tier 6, Keldon Big Body, maybe some Keldon or some Shaden, maybe Malik Beasley, Mr. Cumbuckets, Kamara. Let's go Keldon. That's going to be one. Anyways, go join. Free throws must not count. Maybe. Will Butler have a good game? Yeah, probably, man. Probably. It is Jimmy Bucks, baby. It is Jimmy Bucks. The only thing I can do on Underdog right now is sweat my best ball team. I believe jumped into the top 100 last night. However, I do think that Tatum injury is going to kill me. I think that might be curtains for your boy here. So my best lineup right now, this Khalil, I named it Khalil Ware, is up to 3,960. Before we look at the lineup, again, this honestly, underdog, I know I'm a little bit extra angry at you right now because you haven't figured out your shit in New York and you're tweeting out photos of Tracy Morgan throwing up. I was watching people, shout out our guy TST. He got a lineup in DraftKings into the final. It's a 36-person final. He got one in there. It's like $100K up top, I think. Best of luck to our guy TST. This is the worst sweat on the website for best ball. You're telling me we do a full-ass best ball season, and I know this is the same thing with the NFL, and that it's impossible. Like, oh, let's check out this guy, E5 is in first place winning 100K. Let's see what his fucking lineup looks like. Nope, you can't. You click it a bunch, can't see what anybody's lineups look like. It's impossible to filter through this shit. It is the worst sweat. And it's like a 6-week final. And so for 6 weeks, you have no idea just based on your own lineup. It is just terrible. It's a terrible sweat. And I don't understand how DraftKings has a better best ball product than Underdog right now. But anyways, let's go. What did I say we had? We're at 3,900 something. There we go. We're in 67th right now, winning 500. Let's go back to this team to see what it looks like. So I mentioned, let's just sort by this week here. We got Giddey, who dropped 49 last night, and then a bunch of guards who sucked. However, we do have Hero and Simons that should start accruing some points. Tatum, who dropped 42. So we definitely need Tatum to be healthy. You have Spicy P, Neesmith. Khalil Ware goes tonight. Maybe we get a big Khalil or Miles Bridges game. And then we get a rare Jakob Poeltl game with Okongwu and Duren going tonight. So hopefully we jump up a little bit, but I don't know. Jimmy playing dominoes with Cubans, smoking cigars. There we go. Yeah, Todd. There we go. I am excited to watch that game tonight. I think that will be fun. I think that will be a fun one. But anyways, that's NBA Bit brought to you by DraftKings. I mean, I really don't want to get back into DraftKings. Although I will say, I think that was a leak in my game. I think I should have been playing best ball over there last year and not just focusing on Underdog. But we might have to get back into the streets. We might have to get back into the DraftKings streets, especially if we can't be doing it here in the Underdog. So we gotta DM Mr. King. All right, guys, I told you it was going to be efficient. That is the NBA bit this morning. Go check out the SORARE MLB content we dropped yesterday on the Elite Fantasy Hoops channel. Shout out to the Playback Bros who were streaming last night for the late night West Coast action of Celtics and Kings. NBA bit back tomorrow, plus the show with Laird tomorrow. Plus, I know I just yelled about Underdog. We're jumping on Mr. Badge Bros Roto Run show tomorrow to break down the slate and cry that I can't play it again. So that's tomorrow. Hopefully 89 Cavs on Thursday. And then you know the deal. You know the deal. We'll see you on Friday. Guys, I got to go do some laundry and then do some editing. So that's my day today. Hope you guys have a fun little Tuesday. Enjoy the Jimmy Butler reunion. I'm sure nothing weird will happen. We'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow.